Jacobson.
Thank you, and thank you so much for coming today. I have to tell you, my wife's a emergency room physician at CMMC, and she worked last night, and I got to see her because she had your Caucus this morning, and so we passed at Dunkin' Donuts. So thank you for doing it this morning. It's been a little busy. Hey, look, we have two small children. Hank is 8, and Maggie's 4. And we want for them what every parent wants for their kids. We want their kids to have at least the same opportunity that we have. It's the promise every generation in American history has kept, that their kids and their grandkids would have the opportunity to do better. And that's why I'm running for governor, because I believe with the right leader and the right plan, we can make Maine a place of opportunity and make good on that promise. We can make it so that our kids can stay here and pursue their dreams. We can make it so we don't have to get on an airplane to go see our families. And we can make it so hard work and personal responsibility will pay off again in Maine. And I have a plan to get us there. The first thing we need to do is reduce taxes on the people that create opportunity. We got to lower our corporate income tax, our personal income tax, our capital gains tax. We got to get the job creators creating jobs. We need to make Maine the easiest place in the world to do business. We need to have a regulatory environment that's predictable and reasonable. And lastly, we need to make sure that our education system is producing a world-class workforce. The measure ought to be when a child graduates from a program in Maine, they can get a job in Maine. Time won't permit it, but I have proposals in energy and healthcare and infrastructure. We have a plan, it's on the website. I'd invite you to come read it. But know this, every one of the proposals is geared toward creating jobs and opportunity in Maine. And I think that's what this election is about, and I'm the best candidate to lead us on that road, and let me tell you why. When I was 8 years old, about the age my son is now, I watched my father climb into his airplane and fly to Vietnam. I learned very early about duty and honor and service to the country. When it came my time, I followed my father, first at the Naval Academy, where I graduated with a class of '84 and into the Air Force, where I flew special operations and tactical airlift missions all over the world. I saw firsthand how special this country is and how blessed we are to be Americans. After I got out of the Air Force, I met my wife, girlfriend at the time, and she just graduated from Bowdoin, and all she could talk about is coming back from Maine. So I got an opportunity to run the St. Lawrence and Atlantic Railroad right here in Auburn. And you might not remember in 1996, but when I got that railroad, they told me I had a year or they were going to close the railroad and fire me, which was pretty good motivation. We put together a great team here in Auburn and throughout the railroad. And in 3 years, we tripled the revenue. We were named North America's best short line railroad. We were featured in the Wall Street Journal. We added 23 new businesses, and you've known some of them here, the Auburn Intermodal Facility, the Duke Energy that's now, that was Gas Supply Resources, and many others along the tracks. Thousands of jobs. And I'm very proud of the team, and I'm very proud of our accomplishments. But I think it's important to know that we accomplished that. We were regulated by 3 states, a province, 2 federal governments, and I had 10 unions. I know how to manage in that environment, ladies and gentlemen. I can do it again in Augusta. I finished that job at the St. Lawrence, and I got an opportunity to run the Canadian National Illinois Central's International Business Program. This is where I separate myself from the rest of the Republicans in the field. I'm the only candidate that worked for the same railroad as Abraham Lincoln. Anyway, in that job, I had over $1 billion revenue budget, and I opened offices all over Asia. I negotiated with some of the largest shipping companies in the world. I even negotiated with Chinese communists, which I think is very good training for the kind of communists I'm going to deal with in Augusta. Now I run Maine & Company. Maine & Company is a privately financed company, and our mission is to recruit and retain jobs in Maine. We have a staff of 3 and a budget of about $350,000. In the last 2 years, we've recruited companies that are going to hire more than 2,000 people in Maine. I'm the only candidate that's currently, and has ever done, recruited companies that they don't own or work for to Maine. I've done it, I can do it again as governor. Last week we were in Farmington, and it was a candidate forum with all the candidates. Democrats, Republicans, a few independents. And all the Democrats kept coming up to the microphone and talking about their experience. And I got to thinking, and I watched them, and over they came up and talked about it, and it occurred to me that they are running 3 former speakers, a president of the Senate, an attorney general, 2 former commissioners, and a staffer from the Carter administration. You throw in the current governor and everything they know they learned in a legislative briefing room in Augusta or Washington. And I got to thinking, what are the right qualifications to be governor? Is it someone who served their country and demonstrated leadership and commitment? Is it somebody that's run an industrialized, unionized, complex business here in Maine successfully? Is it someone with extensive international business experience and knows where Maine fits in the global marketplace? Is it somebody who spent the last 4 years recruiting jobs to Maine? If those are your qualifications, I'm the only candidate that meets it and I'm ready to lead. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm asking you for your support, and I look forward to winning in November. Thank you so much.